There's a lot you can learn from out of the past.
Hi everyone, I'm Lenny Tvedten, Executive Director of the Martin County Historical Society. Today we're going to take a little change of pace, a departure from our regular show. We're going to do a series on agriculture in Martin County, farms of Martin County, with a number of people who actually submitted stories to the book that we'll have available in the near future. Our first two interviews are going to be with Darwin Roberts and Haley Ammann. They both have interesting stories, and they're both a little bit different, so hope you enjoy them. Hey Darwin, well thanks for coming in for an interview. Appreciate it. You've been farming for a number of years. Where is your farm located?
North of Grenada on Blacktop number 53, about 3.5 miles north of town.
Okay, now, correct me if I'm wrong, is that a century farm?
It will be. It's been in the Roberts family for 108 years now.
Okay.
However, east of Truman on Blacktop number 52,
Yeah.
I own another 160-acre farm that is in our family continuously for 8 generations.
Wow. Now that's the one that we put a sign
That's
up.
where we did, yes.
And there's a lost town out there?
In 2001,
Yep.
we hosted in Martin County here 9 lost towns.
Right.
And Nashville Center, which is my farm place, was the first one to host that celebration.
Yeah, I remember it. It's been a few years back.
Oh yeah, 2001.
Okay, so what type of farming have you primarily done over the years? I mean, grain, cattle, hogs?
I've kind
Everything?
of done the whole gamut.
The whole thing.
Mostly corn and soybeans.
Uh-huh.
I've grown vegetable crops for Stokely Van Camp. Now, later years, Stokely's not here in Fairmont.
Sure.
So I grow for Green Giant in Blue Earth. Of course, I'm retired now. I lease my farmland out.
So you don't really have a hand in the actual farming operation?
Not anymore. I'm about 81 years old. So
Well, all the time to kind of ease off a
slow
little
up.
bit. Sure.
Yep.
So how long did you farm altogether?
Probably 55 years that I've lived out on the farm there.
Uh-huh.
I used to work for Honeywell. By degree, I'm a metallurgical engineer.
Oh, okay.
So pretty much until 1987, I farmed and I worked here at Railway Motors. I was one of the top management people heading up all the quality assurance program and the foundry.
You farmed at the same time?
Yes.
Wow.
So I was a weekend farm. I burned a lot of midnight oil.
I was gonna say, did you ever sleep?
Yeah. In 1987, I was burning the candle at both ends too much. So I retired from Fairmont Railway.
Sure. Okay, over the number of years, quite a few years that you were farming, you must have had some unique experiences.
Yes, going back in history, in 1875, this entire area of Martin County was under a severe grasshopper plague. And farmers were having to leave the area. Their food was non-existent. So they gathered in the nearby church that's on my property in Nashville Center there for a prayer fest. And it was because the then Governor Pillsbury of Minnesota required what he called a day of fasting prayer. And the farmers and residents all grouped together and decided to share what crops they had left. Well, as the service ended, they go out the church building, and to everyone's surprise, the grasshoppers up and darkened the sky and left. And that was the last they've seen of the grasshoppers.
I've read that same thing, and that was during the time when the British came over and they thought they were going to...
And it ended up being called a manifestation, prayer changes things.
Sure, interesting.
And I guess other events that took place here in the area is the change of having country schools all through the county. I think at one time there was over 100.
Over 100.
And then consolidation. My kids, 4 of them, all graduated from the Grenada Huntley school system, and we loved our time on the farm. The kids all had horses. We had animals of every kind, whether they were goats or chickens, and cattle and hogs, of course. When I left Honeywell after a number of years in Minneapolis as a metallurgical engineer, moved down here and bought my grandfather's farm. Looking back, it was the best decision I ever made.
Sure. What were some of the challenges you faced during your time in farming?
Weather, number one, probably.
Sure.
Commodity prices, number two. Just as this year, corn or crop production and marketing sales are below the break-even point. And so farming is something that is a challenge always, because you're competing with Mother Nature and you're competing with the world trade. Our analysts tell us that roughly 40% of what we grow is exported. And of course, now we've got the tariff situation happening. Countries are not buying from us. So as a farmer, you learn early on that you plan ahead, because you're going to have a very uneven economic income. It's not like working a 40-hour a week job where you know at the end of the week you're going to have this much pay.
Sure.
Doesn't happen with farming.
What are some of the biggest changes you've observed over there's a lot of them, I'm sure, but
technology. I can go all the way back to my grandfather, who farmed with horses. And when the first tractors came out, and this is on the farm where the Nashville Center was, he was very reluctant. A machine could not do what his horses could do. Well, slowly he tried it out. Technology kept creeping in, and we've gone all the way from horses in my lifetime of 81 years. We've gone all the way from horses to autonomous tractors, combines, cars, trucks, so on.
So that's something that when you say today, you don't have to sit on the planter, and I mean, you just kind of push the buttons and it goes.
And technology is out there. John Deere's been testing for a number of years. No one has to be in the cab. I mean, the computer tells the tractor to go down the road to this field, do this task. But yeah, otherwise, we sat out there in the dirt, the dust, harvesting, doing so on, spraying. I can remember coming in at the end of the day, clothes being damp from the drift from your sprayer. Now we're all in a temperature-controlled cab with dust filters, so it's like almost sitting in your living room. And you're right, everything is a toggle touch situation.
So in that respect, farming has become easier, but also you have to keep up with technology.
Well, and the price tag for young people, they can't hardly get started. You go out and buy a new combine, fully loaded, both heads, corn, bean, you're talking $1 million price tag.
Wow.
And you use that combine basically 1 to 1.5 months a year. Harvest time, that's the only time. Harvest your corn, harvest your beans, or if you're in the cotton growing area, harvest.
So do most people buy these pieces of equipment, or do they lease them?
No, they buy.
Buy.
There is, always has been several families, usually out of North Dakota, that does custom work for the big wheat growing areas of Missouri, Arkansas, the Dakotas, Montana. But no, and in the same way with tractors. It's the cost is so great that the small farmer, I'm talking anybody less than 500, 700 acres of ownership, can't afford, because you can't amortize the cost of your machinery over that few of acres. So slowly, the small farmer is losing out.
So, who's taking over these farms then?
Bigger farmers. We see it in all kinds of different industries too. Look at what Amazon is doing to the brick and mortar store.
Sure.
In college, I worked both for Dayton's and Donaldson's. Hello, neither one of them exist anymore, and they were the all-time big stores.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you can't spread your cost over enough acres, then you can't survive.
Well, what do you see then for the future of farming in Martin County?
The future, hopefully, is promising. We stay abreast. We have, good suppliers. And unfortunately, we've lost one ethanol plant here. We have others around us that helps the market along. But the small farmer, again, I tried getting my son going, but years were average. It wasn't enough money for him. He chose not to continue on, and I can name you a few other families where no one is stepping up and wanting to take over the farming.
Even the small farms have gotten larger. I grew up on a farm that was like 120 acres, and that was considered an average-sized farm at that time. So even, like you say, small farms are up to maybe 700 acres?
Oh yeah, easy, yeah. We've got 5,000-acre farmers here in Martin County. We have ownership of some families over 12,000 acres.
Are the farms in Martin County that are owned currently still owned by Martin County residents that lived here for years?
We don't really have corporate farming, to my knowledge, happening much here in Martin County.
Is that happening throughout the state or the Midwest?
In the Midwest, yes. And we have intervention from China and other foreign countries coming in here, buying up our land. And we're trying to get Congress to put a stop on that. And hopefully it happens in due course of time.
Sure. Well, Darwin, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it, and appreciate learning more about farming and current farming in Martin County. Very interesting and informative. So, again, thank you. Appreciate what you've done.
Glad to do it, and I wish everyone success
Thank you.
and good health.
Thank you. Well, welcome, Haley. Thanks for coming in and doing an interview. Now, you've been in farming for a while. Where's your farm located?
Yes, we're located on the west side of Martin County, so right outside of Ormsby, Minnesota.
Oh, okay. A little ways from here, but not too far.
Little ways, a little bit of a drive, but...
How long have you been involved in farming?
Yeah, so unfortunately when my grandfather passed away in 2015, I say it's bittersweet because it's always so hard to lose family members that you've looked up to.
Sure.
But it also opened this door of opportunity for me to get involved on the family farm with my dad, just like he got to with his dad. And so it opened up this door of opportunity. And so about 2016, 2017 is when I came home and was able to start my own herd.
Okay. So you say you came home. Were you in college then, or?
Yes. Yep. I was pursuing my bachelor's degree at SMSU through Marshall, Minnesota, and we are a cow-calf operation. We were founded in 1903, and so we've been beef cattle ever since. And that was kind of when I knew I've always had this passion for agriculture, and I just never knew how it would look or how it would fit for me to come back. And so that was kind of the moment.
So how long has your family been on that farm? I mean, is it a century farm or?
It is. It's a century farm. Yep. I'm the 6th generation. I'm the first female to take over the family farm. So it's a little exciting, a little bit of a wait, but it's good.
Well, good. Good for you. What is it that inspired you then, other than you said you worked with your dad, but is there something in farming that really inspired you to want to go back to farming?
Yeah.
What you really liked about it?
I was in 4-H. I was in 4-H for, over 10 years, and I just had these amazing mentors that just kind of take you under their wing and show you all the different opportunities in agriculture. And I've always had a passion for the cattle industry, but also just the land and the livestock and being able to know where our food comes from and how our food is raised. And so I think through 4-H, it really just helped shine a light on that, and I think I wanted to be a part of that conversation and help educate others on that as well.
Okay. So you're farming, if I remember correctly, your farming operations mainly cattle?
Yes, beef cattle. Yep, cow-calf.
Okay. Then you don't do grain farming or anything else? Or
We do small crops, yes, corn and soybeans, but mostly what we raise goes back to the herd, to the cattle, for feed.
You know, thinking back on the time you've been involved in farming, what's the most interesting thing you've encountered? Or the most unique thing?
Yeah, every season is different, and I think anyone with livestock would agree that every calving season, every harvest, has its own challenges, but it also has its own unique opportunities. And I think that's what's so great about what I like about livestock is you never know what to expect, right? Every day is different.
Well, you mentioned the word challenge. What are the biggest challenges you have faced and are facing moving forward?
Yeah, I think with livestock and even grain, it's things that we can't control, unfortunately, and farmers, we want to be able to control it so we have a great positive outcome, but things like the weather, markets, government regulations, or even just policies that we can't control or have a say in, and even just disease, right? Disease with the crops, disease with livestock, things that, again, you wish you could have a control over just for a more positive outcome.
What do you see moving forward as far as the future for the type of farming or farm operation you have?
Yeah, I think there's so much opportunity there, especially with the digital world and technology and how it's so evolved over the years, even in the 10 years or less that I've been involved. I think there's going to be a great opportunity with livestock and small crops for equipment and how we're feeding these livestock and how we're producing grain with doing more with less, but being able to kind of get some of that time back too. I mean, farmers aren't paid by the hour, unfortunately. We want to be, but the amount of time that we invest, if some of that digital and technology pieces can help us do things more efficiently or get things done quickly, and then we can educate, or we can, devote some of that time it saves us into other parts of the business or into our family or into our community, I think it's going to really open up a lot of windows.
You mentioned technology. How has it evolved over the time that you started up until now?
I mean, you look at tractors. I mean, we got tractors driving themselves now, which is crazy. And in combines, there's a lot of digital pieces there with iPads and how people are able to, again, tractors, they have auto steer that is very similar to vehicles. And I don't think people understand that till you get into some of these big pieces of equipment, just how effective they are. I mean, just down to the little dials, to little things that can make or break the success of your planting and harvest.
Is it difficult for someone, let's say a young person that's 25 years old, I'd like to be a farmer, go into the type of farming that you're doing. Is that possible if it's not within a family or?
Oh, absolutely. And that's why I say agriculture is such a great industry, because you can be directly or indirectly involved and there's still a place for you at the table. And I always say that there's a place for everyone at the table if you're willing to put in the hard work and you're willing to learn. It's just about networking and knowing who to ask or where to go, because the average age of the farmer right now is, I think, 59 and a half. So you have a lot of people that are going to be retiring here soon, and not everyone has someone in the family looking to take over. So again, if you can utilize some of those connections, there's young people that want to get involved, that want to work, but it's just a matter of knowing kind of who and where.
How many cattle do you have on your farm?
We have about 50 to 60 head, which isn't full capacity. We have room to grow, but we're a cow-calf, so that number doubles come springtime. Sometimes it feels like we have enough, and other times it's like, okay, we have plenty on our plate.
Yeah, I'm sure it keeps you busy.
Yeah.
All right, when you mentioned technology, do you think that's going to change the number of farmers needed in the future?
I do think farms are getting bigger, whether that's more livestock or more acres. I mean, now they say that one farmer can feed 140 families, where that number before was one farmer could feed probably only 80 families. So I mean, we are doing more with less, and we're able to take more land and cover more ground, more counties, because equipment's getting bigger. So farmers can get 300 to 400 acres harvested in one day now.
Wow.
Where before we were doing 100 acres a day. And so I think it's yes and no. I think farms are going to get bigger, but I think as more young kids get involved and they find new ways to kind of add to the business and find different ways to be profitable, especially when markets aren't working in our favor, we're so good about pivoting. I think that's what the younger generation brings to the table. They're so good about pivoting and bringing more creative ideas that I don't think we're going to go away from farmers. I think we're going to keep adding to it. I think it's just going to be a matter of how they do it.
Sure. You talk about herd size too. How does that compare to your grandfather's time?
Yes.
And maybe nationally?
Yes. So when my grandfather and his brother were in the business, they were a feedlot, and they had about 3,000 head of feedlot cattle. And so now we're cow-calf, so it's a little bit different, but right now we're actually above what the national average is. So the U.S. national average for herd sizes is only 40 head.
Oh, wow.
Which isn't
more.
Exactly. Yeah. A lot of people do. And so we're considered above that national average, and as are many. But when you look at feedlots have evolved so much. And I mean, some feedlots are 3,000 minimum. They can go up. There's one feedlot in California that's 100,000. So again, space has evolved, buildings have evolved. They've realized that how much outside use space they can utilize is a lot more than what they did before.
So you say feedlots, are they owned by large corporations then, or are they farmer owned?
Still family and farmer owned.
Okay.
Yep. Most feedlots, which is just the next stage of a cattle's life cycle after they get sold at a weaning age, which is 600 pounds. Most cattle are being finished at about 1,500 pounds. So it sounds like a big scary word, but feedlot's just that next step in their life cycle.
So do we have a lot of feedlots in Minnesota?
We have more cow-calf in Minnesota, but more so because of the ground we're able to utilize, right? If you go to central Minnesota, there's more pasture and more grass. But then you go down south into Texas and Oklahoma, and they're more suited for feedlots because they have more ground. They have more of that grain that they can utilize to feed the feedlots.
Sure. How does this compare to like raising hogs?
Yes. So my grandfather also dabbled in hogs a little bit. Back then they had a 600 head pig barn, which was very large back then. Now you drive around, and of course Martin County is the #1 pork producing county. And you have these 2,400 head, 3,000 head feedlots, pig barns. So you can see right there that the old single slat, single stall 600 heads have kind of gone away, and they've found ways to utilize more space as well in the pig division.
Maybe a dumb question, but are there any that have cattle and hogs?
Yes, very common.
Right.
And again, that's just being farmer smart. That's just not putting all our eggs in one basket. We're able to do grain and cattle and pigs because they can kind of each have their own rotation. Cattle take a little longer to finish out, where you get a few more rotations in the year for pigs.
Speaking of eggs, then you put chickens in there too?
Yeah. You might as well.
With you being the first female in your family to go into this type of operation, did you have any mentors, or do you have any mentors or organizations that are helpful as far as what you're doing?
Yeah, that's a great question. Like I said, I had a lot of great female mentors when I was in 4-H, and I think that's what really kick-started or blossomed me. And after that, I tried to find organizations that aligned with that, because it's really scary coming back to the family farm and being part of something new. And it's even scarier when someone says, "Oh, you're the first." And so you think, okay, who can I turn to and kind of confide in that will help me guide me in the right direction, on the right path. I've been a part of a handful of great organizations. A couple of them have been Minnesota Farm Bureau. I'm an active member in that, especially in Martin County Farm Bureau. I'm the vice president. And then there's another group specifically for women called Common Ground, where women across Minnesota can come together that are part of the agriculture industry as a whole and can help you hone in on what your strengths are and then connect you with other like-minded people that can help that are maybe a couple steps ahead of you and give you advice or teach you along the way. And then the National Cattlemen's and the Minnesota Beef Council have been tremendous on helping just young farmers and ranchers get started with their business and help guide them as well, both men and women. I was a part of the first class at the National Cattlemen's Association with their grassroots advocacy program. It took 10 of us producers across the United States, and I think we only had 3 men and 7 of us were women, and so that was great to be able to connect with other people from across the United States and just find ways to come home to our family farm and look at our business and find ways to be more efficient and effective.
It leads me to another question. How many females in Minnesota are a part of a family farm like this or running a family farm?
Yeah.
Or what percentage? Do you have any idea what the number might be?
I don't know if this percentage pertains to Minnesota or if it's the U.S. national. Yeah, I think it's more the national average, but they say now that it's up to 36% of farms have a female that's in the lead position and involved in the farming decision making.
Sure. Oh, great. Yeah.
So, and that number is constantly growing, which we love to see. I think women play such a great role in it and bring a different perspective. So it's great to see that number growing.
Okay, great. Okay, well, thank you very much. Appreciate your coming in. And
thank you so much for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. Glad to have you. All right, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed it. A couple of great interviews about farming in Martin County. And when the book comes out, you can read the other stories that were submitted. They're all excellent.
There's a lot you can learn from Out of the Past.